Friday. Wow, no hallucination? Wow.
Friday,
Maybe
Friday,
the living
Friday!
power of alt tabbing or something? Like, is that throwing it off? Because I, checked my other windows, somewhat and during the breaks and whatnot.
Should be
And it
okay.
doesn't crash on me.
But alright, we all ready. We're at Chase Well.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Boink. Okay, I'm recording now.
All right. Well, it's Friday.
Friday.
Gotta get down on Friday.
Friday. It's like that Rebecca Black song. We
Yep.
should just sing it, but as the characters of Echo. Finn's like, no.
I don't even know the lyrics.
Basically,
Yeah,
just
Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. I eat my cereal and then I go and wonder what car to sit in.
It is Friday.
Wow.
I need to go for a walk.
I need my walkies.
I broke my trash panda walkies.
Trash Panda walkies. And Leo can be the goodest boy with the leash.
Alright, shall we get started? Chase, go for it.
Oh, wow.
Clint hadn't been lying after all.
Waltz.
Leo whispers it at me from across the table, not looking up from his phone.
Waltz.
Nothing. Just found some interesting stuff that I'm not going to tell you.
I whisper.
It's secret.
I whisper back. Leo's a ghost.
Leo died in high school.
He's the ghost of horniness. That is haunting Chase.
The ghost of Wolf Horniness.
Leo grins, but still doesn't look up from his phone. There isn't much of it to go off of. After reading through it, I'm pretty skeptical of Haunted Echo, the main source of my documentary. At least the bit of information that came across references some newspaper articles from the 1950s. The young wolf
this is a published book. Why isn't there a Kindle version?
The young wolf named Robert Smith wasn't even a resident of Echo.
You mean Joseph Smith?
Mm-hmm, Joseph Smith. He came in, he had some magic reading stones.
Well, Mormons actually are supposed to be a large, chunk of this, because, it's Utah. That's what Sydney's family was. And Todd.
Huh.
Bestest boy Todd.
No! What is...
Did it crash again?
What is clipboard voicing enabled?
Nani?
It says Shift C to disable. Ah, okay, whatever.
Self-voicing disabled.
So we were on Young Wolf.
Go west, young wolf.
Yeah, then it shot forward a little bit as it was trying to disable that. There isn't much to go off of. Haunted Echo, skeptical, newspaper article. The young wolf named Robert Smith wasn't even a resident of Echo. He'd been resting at the Echo classification yard after taking a train from the capital. He was on his way to the west coast, and once he thought he'd found the right train, he attempted to board it. No one knows exactly what happened. Yet, somehow, his train hopping went horribly wrong, and he was found with both limbs severed 2 hours later. He'd managed to crawl 20 yards north along the rail before he was found. Somehow, impossibly, he survived the ordeal up to that point. This was mainly due to the mud packs that had been placed on the stumps, halting the bleeding. Of note was the fact that Robert had seemingly become delirious because of blood loss, pain, or trauma. Likely a combination of all three, actually. He claimed that the bleeding had been stopped by a creature of some kind. When he tried to describe it, he began to sob and scream incoherently. It's hard to say how much of this is being exaggerated by the author. Either way, I don't exactly have time to track down all of her sources, so I decide I'll just have to trust it. My leg jumps.
Like a good, diligent journalist.
There you
Sure.
go.
He can
Yep.
usually
It's in a book,
libraries.
okay?
Yeah.
Clearly it must be true.
Yeah, it's like
It's written down.
Yeah,
You know-
you know.
Usually libraries have like old newspapers you can go look at. And
Yeah.
sometimes they're like on, it's like kind of like micro.
Yeah, microfilm.
Yeah, microfilm. Yeah, so he could go.
Yeah,
look
you
at that.
probably should have done this on like Monday instead of waiting till Friday
Yeah,
lazy.
you know?
when you're leaving tomorrow.
I mean, you know, he could have just. My leg jumps as something soft and ticklish brushes up against it. I snap my gaze up at Leo.
What?
Leo gives me an innocent look while he continues to brush his tail up against my leg.
Well, if you're not going to say anything, then please stop doing that. It's distracting me with your horniness.
He does stop then, and I feel a little guilty, so I look back up.
And thanks for getting a library card just so I could check this out. It's a huge help. And not the only thing huge around here. Hmm.
He smiles.
No problem, Nutria.
Now I'm going to spread you on this cookie because you're like hazelnut and chocolate.
Isn't that sweet of you, Nutella?
Not one of your sexier words, but okay.
I return back to the book. It's unlikely that Robert would have survived anyway due to the extent of his injuries and infection. Still, it is of note that he ended up committing suicide a few hours after discovery. He apparently slipped out the 5th floor window of the Peyton Regional Medical Center. Though authorities simply dismissed it as a case of a man knowing that his demise was nigh and finishing the job himself, the author speculates it had something to do with the horrors that he saw on the tracks. I hear a soft whine come from in front of me, and I lower the book to find Leo draped across the table on his chest. He's looking
So
up.
what we were finding out is that there was indeed blood on the tracks. Eh? Eh?
Shadowing, maybe.
And a Bob Dylan reference, but okay.
He's looking up at me with huge puppy eyes. I can't help but smile, but it's so terrible, even for a wolf as big as him.
What? I have a project to do, remember? And you were the one that was trying to be like, oh, we're not just all goofing around.
Yeah, I know. But we've been here for 3 hours now. You should take a break. We can rent an office, and then we can practice sex ed.
We can practice our
Yeah, 3 hours of work
research.
is all you need to do for a college project, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's about how much I put in. Yeah.
I look at the time and I'm shocked that he's actually right. How the hell did that happen?
Wait, Leo can tell time? Who taught him that?
Who taught the
Was it
goodest
you,
boy
Flynn?
time? Now he's going to be sitting at his dish at exactly 5 o'clock.
Dish.
He's like, where's my TV dinner?
He looks up at you, starts panting. Do you realize it's not for the food?
He just starts pawing at the microwave, sad, whimpering.
This is why I need Chula to be chat wife. Ah.
I need my spaghetti and meatball.
Who ate my spaghetti?
Just go for it.
Well, I guess that's a good idea.
Wait, how the hell did that happen? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you were waiting on me. Well, I guess that's a good idea. I was just finding some really interesting stuff. So let me stop on this streak where I'm actually doing work and go goof off with you forever. Sounds good.
I'm sure that project of yours is going to turn out awesome. After you haven't worked on it at all.
He grins and stands up abruptly. grabbing my book as well, so I couldn't continue to read.
Let's go get some lunch. It's already almost 3. Y'all got there at noon?
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, they are really. He's not trying to pretend that he's going to do any work.
Yeah,
All he said is read a book.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, you're a real dedicated
That
author.
you
Yeah,
should
you're
have read
dedicated to this.
before you came to the town so you could plan your actual thing out.
No,
Which is also completely off topic from what he was supposed to be doing, which is looking into the smoke room era with the Samuel Ayres mine incident.
I mean, think about how he can present this to his professor. Well, I went there, I did some research, I spoke with some locals, got some video of this reservoir.
My ex-boyfriend's dick was really hot, and his eyes had to get like that all the entire week. Yeah,
you know, I did some research, and this is what I could find. And he just has to not smile and about.
and the professor just looks at it and goes like, "You found nothing."
So,
which, to be fair, for Chase, that is a do you not think of Leo Dick challenge is impossible. Impossible level difficulty.
You see, it'll just make him smile more, which will make it seem more realistic and plausible that this is what he thought is a good idea. This was his project.
It's a feedback loop. Yeah.
Leo unzips and pulls like the zipper open, the fly open, and there's like the fog right there, and Chase is like cross the fog.
And then afterwards, Chase is like, "There is no dick, only Zool."
Leo's just like, "Come, Chase, come to the lands between these thighs."
I'll show you an impaler. Mm-hmm. All right. You want to go to the diner?
You want to eat there?
Well, it's been a few days. I'd like to catch up with the others, because that was the point of the trip. All of us hanging out together. But, I know it's what you wanted to do.
Actually, everyone's busy today. I already tried.
Oh, really? What are they doing? Because Carl's just a dumb stoner. Flynn only works part-time. Jenna's probably doing homework. I mean, that little study bug. But TJ's probably just like, "Oh, where's my Chase?"
Well, Flynn's being an asshole. TJ and Jenna are they're hiking. Carl's getting high. Flynn's
I like that excuse. Carl's asleep. Just he's gonna be asleep forever, Chase. Until you give him that true love's first kiss.
Yeah. He's asleep at 3 p.m. He doesn't work night shift.
Yeah, but he doesn't work at all.
Like, what's he doing? Is he just like playing video games all night?
Yeah. Idiot.
Yeah, and in the other routes, him getting a job interview is a major event.
Yeah. Well, Flynn's working. TJ and Jenna are on a hike, and Carlos asleep.
Oh. Good thing I never text them myself and can verify any of the things you say, but I'll just trust you.
Yeah.
Because my phone just doesn't work now, for some reason.
It doesn't really seem like Leo to just blow off meeting up with everyone. But I guess at this point in the trip, he's just tired of trying. I know I would be. Show me up after what I said last night, Leo takes me to a semi-fancy steakhouse. He, of course, insists on paying for everything. I'm not really sure when Leo became so concerned with how I perceive his income. I don't mind, though. The meal is good, and I'm happy to not pay the $30 price tag. It does remind me of his job, though, so I ask him about his schedule. He says his parents gave him the entire week off, which surprises me. I remember how Leo worked almost every day in that shop. I guess his dad is just mellowing out with age. Again.
Just fired Leo.
Yeah, because none of these things sound suspicious or have any ring of untruth about them. You know, all the friends just ditched you, Chase, and Leo's parents are suddenly super cool with him dating a dude, and gave him all the time off to boink you. I mean, how else could you interpret this? Leo must be telling the truth at all times.
Again, I have no reason to complain, though. On the way back, Leo nudges me as if I'm nodding off and gestures out his window.
Odds and high.
Sure enough, our old high school is visible out the window.
Want to swing around?
Just to look at it?
We can look at it from here. But yeah.
I'm tired, but we're not doing anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he read a book, you guys. That is so draining of your energy.
Exhausting.
All right, why not? It's not like this is some kind of manipulative trick I'm falling into.
It's past 5, and at this point, it's past 5 at this point, and as we pull up into the parking lot, there are only a few cars scattered around. We walk around the side of the school, then onto the football field. By the way, everyone, do not do this.
This is called trespassing.
You will, the police will totally arrest you.
I thought it was a loophole that, you know, if you're an alumni, you totally just get to walk around the campus all you want forever.
You know, that actually works. You know, you could actually just go to like an elementary school and say, I went to school here. I graduated from this elementary school. They'll let you on.
Yeah, as you know, you have your great coat and like gag and chains.
And, you know, a net and a snare, you know.
Yeah, you have your unmarked white van.
Look, okay, I have all this free candy. I gotta give it to somebody.
You have like this little spray bottle, and the principal looks at it and goes, "This is chloroform."
I know. I take it all the time.
Man.
It does wonders for me.
Man, who are we?
It helps me sleep at night.
Who are we talking about here? P. Diddy? All right.
No, it's Tate. Whatever his name is, Tate. Andrew Tate.
Now.
Here comes
He
the
only goes
haters.
after high school girls and traffics them internationally.
Oh man, but I hope they rescue those girls, those people. That's awful. All right, we walk around the side of the school, then onto the football field. If Peyton High put its money anywhere, it was definitely sports. That was one of the reasons I was so mediocre by comparison. Every sport in the school was extremely competitive, each one winning state regularly.
They win state again since I've been gone?
Nope. Come close last year, though. Almost as close as we did back in 09.
Only you had a giant otter on your team. Oh well, Sydney's dead. Yeah, still sore about that. You still sore about that?
Leo's,
You know, your life's dream that you lost?
he peaked
You
in
know,
high school.
you sore about that, huh? You sore?
Famous football player.
Leo sits down on...
Well, Finn, this is the point of the scene.
Yeah.
You peaked.
Leo sits down on the top bench of the concrete bleachers, and I sit down next to him.
Sometimes. Mostly because we were so damn close. And it really just feels like it was yesterday.
It does kind of feel that way.
I can remember it pretty clearly. It was one of the few times I'd seen Leo really cry. He'd wanted the championship so bad. I lean back and look around, breathing in deeply.
Wow, it is really nostalgic being here.
Isn't it?
Leo looks off towards the sunset, and I can see him getting glassy-eyed.
Is it weird that If I could, I'd go through the high school again.
I think for a moment.
Yes, I wouldn't do it for all the money in the world.
Nah, me neither.
Not really. I'd like to do it. I made a lot of mistakes. Like, I went to this one party and I got like 3 concussions. and then I came out to like the wrong person, and then
And that one guy gave me a piece of foil and said to put it under my tongue, so I did, and I don't remember much.
and then they were making underage porn in like a weird van that just appeared magically, you know.
Oh no, P. Diddy was there too.
Yeah, well, he likes his bass young. What can he say?
Well, not really because of that. More like it was a lot of fun. I just want to experience it all again. It was where I peaked.
So again, move in with me. My life peaked in high school.
Yeah. I'm not
I
going
am such a wiener, Chase.
I'm not going to try and improve myself in any way. Don't worry about it.
I've just settled for working as an auto mechanic and having no dreams ever. And I can't even cook. And my house is tiny and in the middle of nowhere. And I will isolate you from your friends to be my trap wife.
Tiny house to do.
I mean, that's really great for you. There's less to clean. But you do also have to look out for this guy Clint, who will show up and be like, I'm gonna kill you.
You have no
Yeah,
idea.
you know, the hate crimes, they are, you know, not that common, only like weekly.
Yeah.
Then you have no idea how close you actually are.
Well, I mean, he is on meth, right? I mean, like, let's just take an actual real-world case. Like, there was this couple on meth, and they were hanging out in some abandoned building, and the woman just decided to decapitate her boyfriend and put his head on the shelf. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. So just imagine if a meth head really wanted you dead or wanted to hurt you. Doesn't even like you. Take someone I love.
Well, don't worry, we do meet the Walter White of the setting.
I
Don't
bet.
worry.
Yeah. I grin at him. The Walter White of the setting, not Leo.
Hey, you're talking like you peaked in high school. Because the subtext, you know, we just screw that. We'll just make a text.
Yeah.
Did I?
The question catches me completely off guard, and my stumbling around for words that follows doesn't help.
No. I mean, no. Oh, yes.
He sighs.
Yes.
Leo, you've got a good paying job that you're skipping out on and going to make your father even madder at you. You own your own house that is filthy, smells like cigarettes, and has no food in it. It's a pretty good life. You're doing better than most. You know, I guess better than Clint. So that's one.
Better than Clint. You're not homeless.
He laughs a little.
I guess I just don't feel like it, you know?
Why not? Other than the reasons I just said.
He leans back.
Well, I don't really feel as good as I did back then. When I think of high school or even further back, man, those were the good days.
You know, the whole thing with this is like when you have someone who's like this, even in reality, it's just like you feel that way because you didn't have. It's like when people like him and people have really nostalgic memories of games that they used to play or people that they used to know.
Sorry, I gotta stop you there. The 90s were magic. They were literally magic, and the video games were better because they weren't woke. And we just need to, go back to that era.
Okay, Leo.
And make Final Fantasy VI endlessly over again.
But I mean,
I watch a lot of the quartering, so
yeah.
I got the info.
It's just one of those things. It's the games weren't this like our experiences back then weren't necessarily actually better, But instead it was a different time.
Yeah,
we were different.
More words, yeah. Where it's like, oh, they didn't figure out, how to do menus good yet,
Yeah.
and how to like actually organize, information to be readable.
Yeah, it's like take EverQuest 1. Was EverQuest 1 in its original version in 1997 and 98 to 99? Was that actually really good? Was that as good as you remember? For you back then, it was a damn good game. For you today, when you see games like FF14 that are literally free to an extent, is it still as good? Well, some parts of it are good, but it's nowhere near as engaging in a lot of ways. It's still a good game for what it is, but... And like the sports. Leo played football. Okay, so he was super athletic. People liked him. He was kind of like a minor celebrity in his own school, as that's how that tends to go. All the girls like him. Campus. Yeah.
And which, joke's on them.
He's a big guy now, too. Just, a different way. But
okay, well, where were we? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway. I think about how completely
inverse.
Oh, that's a weird way to say it. I think about how completely inverse I am to that. How my life improved exponentially after I left the town.
Well, you keep looking back, and I don't think you'll ever be happy. Oh, look at that. They do look cute together. I'll give the game that.
Yeah. He looks so sad. I wrap my arm around his shoulder, which is a little difficult considering how broad they are.
Because 5 years from now, you'll probably look back on this era of your life and think, man, I wish I could go back. When I was painfully depressed and, was being hate crimed and my family was ragging on me. I'm sure you'll want those times again.
Yeah, you're probably right. I want to be missing you desperately. I want to be wishing you were here and imagining you were here. My imaginary boyfriend. And working in my father's shop.
And the town magic making you real.
And me just going insane.
And having, Duke and Brian just also see my hallucinations. So then they think I'm the Marine Master,
And then you jump in 5 years in the future, Leo is in a relationship with Clint.
It was under their nose the whole time.
That's right.
It went from haters to lovers.
All the blisters are gone now because Clint got clean.
No, because Leo licked him clean.
Yeah, because that's why he was so homophobic. He was just projecting.
He was really jealous.
So just enjoy now.
Leo sighs again, then looks straight down at me, meeting my eyes.
Charles?
Yeah?
He pauses, looking off to the side before turning his eyes back to mine.
I love you. Get connected with me. Right here.
I immediately look
be
away.
My proud wife.
You're I immediately look away and climb up the fence and just escape.
Run for my life.
Yeah, he's gonna walk back to the motel.
Just please, just come back. I miss you so much every day.
I stare out across the field, not able to meet his eyes again.
I'll stop smoking. I'll stop picking on Clint. I'll stop masturbating. I'll get rid of the gun. I'll delete all the porn websites on my computer. I'll patch
because
the
you
holes.
want to just be my flashlight.
I'll patch the holes in the walls. I'll sweep. I'll vacuum. I'll dust. I'll stop eating microwave dinners.
because you truly will be the one making my dinners.
Just come back. I'll buy you fresh vegetables to cook every evening. Just
I
come
just
back.
don't know, Leo. You know, I don't like it. You know how I don't like it here. I feel like I should keep my options open. Find a good job, good place to live.
The better boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like one lives, literally next to you, Leo, so it's going to be hard to find one.
Right. Just for a year or two. While you're getting on your feet, I'll give you a place to stay.
That sounds great, Leo. But to get back together, that's like setting us up for another breakup. And I don't want to do that. Which is actually reasonable, because if he's gonna be a journalist, he can't, do that from Echo. He would have to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like Chase trying to be like healthy for a change,
Yeah.
But then we'd know for sure without parents or school in the way. It'll just be us, and then, even if it doesn't work out, there's some closure there.
For the first time, I feel myself seeing things from Leo's point of view. I'm not necessarily losing anything by at least trying. And he's right. There really wasn't any closure, mostly because of me. Leo must sense my indecision because he immediately presses forward.
And I'll be making enough to support you while you figure things out.
Hey, I don't want to mooch.
You'll be
Just,
cooking all my
give
meal.
give you the kisses. You.
You'll be cooking all my food. So you
I'm
won't
cleaning
be
my house, because you won't be traveling.
You'll be my chula.
And I will make you wear skirt, and then my father will love me again.
I'll buy you the best makeup ever. I don't mind. I just want you to be comfortable so you can do what you want to do, which is be with me.
Which is be my, trad wife slave. But, Echo, I mean, it's not like this town's haunted and gonna be full of demons and stuff. I mean,
Leo's quiet for a long while, before he finally speaks up.
Now that I can't fix. But I guess one way to decide is to weigh what's more important to you.
you're asking me to choose.
I'm
Because,
not
I got another
asking-
wolf back on campus, He makes me bring me frappuccinos. Tells me about the liberalism.
I'm not asking that exactly.
Leo glances at me.
But if I did,
I blow out a long sigh.
So you are.
He doesn't say anything, so my mind starts wandering over the years we spent together. Despite how much we fight, there's no question in my mind what the answer is, and it hits me like a thunderbolt.
Well, I choose you. Even though you don't have a pool and I have nowhere to swim because the only body of water contains a massive amount of trauma.
That's right, Pikachu.
So I will be cut off from literally every single one of my needs. But,
I choose
Wolfie
you.
hugs.
I choose
Wolfie
you.
hugs.
You're my starter Pokemon.
I choose you, Leomon. Or Leochu.
Leochu. Leochula. Grows into Leo.
All at once, his face explodes into a grin. So much happiness in one expression that I don't think I'd ever be able to take back what I just said, even if I wanted to. And instantly I'm wrapped up in a tight, warm hug, one that crushes the air from my lungs.
Oh my god! Joss, I love you so fucking much. Crack, crack, snap.
Oh, oops! I forgot my wolf strength. Darn.
No, I killed my Chula, not again.
This is just like Beastos. Oh, I mean,
Beastars.
See, I gotta get Netflix back. I am dying to see the third season. Stupid money, and me not having it. But hey,
But you still got a year of school left, so we're gonna have to get back together into contact. Get back into contact, and we're gonna have to exchange.
I clasp his muzzle shut with my hand around it, and we just stare back. He just stares back at me with wide eyes.
I didn't even say yes.
I take my hand from
Although
his
I
muzzle.
pretty much did, but you know.
Yeah. Everything but yes. Oh, well, what just say?
I look again towards the sunset, past the concrete bleachers and goalposts, in the direction of Echo, and take a deep breath. I look back at Leo.
Yes.
And then he's kissing
Let me
me.
just fall back into all my terrible habits because I just go in circles.
It's not rough.
And Leo,
It's not.
and Leo slips the ring onto his finger.
It's not rough like it was at the train yard. His mouth stays closed, but he holds my head gently, and it's like he's trying to pour all his love into me through just his lips. As ridiculous as it might sound, I can feel it.
Hard snap right to the bed. I wonder what happened in that cut.
Leo's heavy, soft body presses me into the bed, licking and kissing up my neck, specifically the back of my neck. His hands slide up and down my body, feeling out everything.
He doesn't like eye contact when we do it. He's probably thinking about other otters.
My ankles are over his shoulders as he's doing this. He's gasping like he can't catch his breath. I lay there, my eyes shut as I feel pressing up against mine, writhing every time Leo reaches down and grasps them together. Oh, you know what that's called, ladies and gentlemen, boys and hopefully not boys and girls, but ladies and gentlemen, you know what that's called? That's called throtting. Go ahead and look it up. Enjoy.
Frothing, yep. Yeah, that's my biggest plot hole with the original Echo is except for one route. The sex is just so low key. It's like, no, they're exes, and it's been a week that he's been staying here, and that's the most they do. Like, wait.
I slide my own hands down his back until they reach his rear, and I squeeze hard under his tail, forcing another gasp out of the big wolf. Slowly, he starts licking down the length of my body, starting with my chest, then down to my stomach. He pauses to snuffle and tease against my navel before his mouth finally closes around me. My eyes roll back as I clutch the sheets, arcing my back. Wow, that fast, Chase? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he must have been pent up or something.
It's just like he gets a breeze, then oh!
I opened the window and the breeze rolls and I jizzed in my pants. It becomes that song.
I listen.
But yeah, Chase just comes from the surprise of Leo actually like being a good boyfriend and like helping him with his needs. He's like, what? What is this?
I listen as Leo.
Usually I'm the bottom.
I listen as Leo showers down the hall, and I smile as I hear him singing. I'd usually shower with him back in the day, but I was so tired I passed out as soon as we both finished. Once I opened my eyes again, Leo was already in the shower. I'm about to drift off again when I hear Leo's phone buzz.
See, that's the other thing. Like, the way he, even in his own retelling in his mind, Chase sounds like a pillow princess. Seriously.
He'd been on it all day, probably trying to coordinate a meeting with the others. It's already Friday, which is hard to believe. We had to get together before we lost the chance. I look over, the screen is already lit up, so I sit up and look. A message from Flynn. Yeah, well. Oh, wait, who's Flynn?
I think I was Flynn.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, fuck you too.
Not exactly a surprising message to get from Flynn, but I still wonder what they're fighting about. And the sounds of it, Leo...
Or if it was an invitation. Ooh, ooh.
From the sounds of it, Leo is still in the middle of his shower, still rocking out his diva pop song.
I'm such a beautiful wolf.
Yeah. Which diva do you think you'd go for?
I am a material wolf.
I'm a material
See, I was going to say Britney Spears.
Oh, does that shave his head at some point?
That would be the least crazy thing he's going to do.
So here's the thing, right? So we know that Leo's kind of stalkery. We know that Leo is basically just planned this entire thing to get back with Chase, right? And we know that Leo isn't particularly tech savvy, so we could probably see what's going on without him figuring it out. So what do we want to do? Respect his privacy? Or privacy from my British viewers? Or check his phone?
Do we have anyone on
phone.
stream right now?
No, I don't think so. No, there's no one on stream.
Well, I usually do check his phone. I haven't seen what happens if you respect his privacy.
I want to check his phone, so let's check his phone. I want to see if he's purposefully isolating us.
Yeah, I was going to say I could give you the spoilers of the difference of the path.
Yeah, let's see.
Check his phone.
Checking his phone.
With a small amount of guilt, I reach over and grab his phone and open up his texts. Immediately, I see a few pinned conversations. They're from me. Judging by the dates, they're from when I was still away at college.
Can I just say, Chase does have magical powers because he can both ghost someone and string them along at the same time.
That's the thing.
It's a pretty impressive challenge.
I don't necessarily think Chase intended to string him along. I think that's more of like... I mean, he might have, but there's also the possibility that Leo just won't leave him alone. I mean, obviously, there's two sides.
I've seen the other routes.
Seen the other routes? All right. Chase.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Chase is a bit of a bitch. What happened is, like, he didn't even, like, say goodbye and actually say they're breaking up. He just left. And
he just ghosted him. Now he's zombied him.
Zombied him, yeah.
Yeah, they had a fight, and then just like, nope.
Yeah, and Chase kind of fucked off.
Yeah, I mean, people tend to do that in their first few relationships, I think. Hopefully that happens when they're early teens, but sometimes it happens later. There's also a few saved attachments, and I quickly swipe away to the other, more recent conversations. The latest is from earlier this morning, and it looks like it was to Flynn.
Charles has a project to do. Bullshit. You're fucking with him again, huh? I'm helping him. You planned this from the start, didn't you? What? This whole thing. It was great. It was to get back in his pants.
And I'm just jelly. I mean, I'm not jelly at all.
Yeah, I just want to spank him with my big, thick guillotine. How about I planned this after you ruined the entire week, huh? Yeah, well, fuck you two.
I frown. It's too bad Leo and Flynn are still fighting, but for some reason their exchange has me feeling uneasy. I pull up his next recent thread, one with Carl. Carl asks Leo if we're hanging out again yesterday night. Leo pokes some fun at him about sleeping in the crawl space. Then Leo tells him that he isn't sure, that I'll probably be too busy with my project to hang out. Leo never asked me. I feel my heart start to pound. Today, Carl texted again, asking how things were going. Leo tells him that I wanted to go to the high school for nostalgia's sake, that I wanted to be alone for it. He sent that 2 hours before we even got there. Before he acted as if it was on a whim. Then Jenna asked if Leo is avoiding her. If she said something wrong. Leo tells her everything is fine, but again, I'm too busy to hang out. And his texts to TJ.
Hey, yesterday was so much fun. I know you said you were probably going to be busy, but I wanted to check. And I won't text Chase for no apparent reason that is ever given. Because I could do that. He has a phone. He's an independent person.
I know.
But
why you
so
all have
two
to
of all the friends, like no one texts Chase directly.
probably because
like,
they know
oh.
how crazy Leo gets.
Yeah.
So,
It's like, wow.
Chas is still pretty sad about what happened Monday. I think he needs more time.
Oh, okay. Tell him I'm sorry. He told me he was fine yesterday, but I guess he must have been faking it for my sake. Because I'm TJ, the most important person in the world.
Yeah, he's still pretty broken up. We'll figure it out, though.
I'm gripping the phone hard. Could Leo have really done all of this? To TJ especially? I sit there, quietly listening to my wolf continue to sing. My stomach twists up as I realize that now I have to confront him on this. I've let things slide before, but this is on a different level. I hug my knees.
Which is something he's totally going to for sure do.
I mean, he could, use his own phone to text all his friends and be like, Leo, lied to all of you. Let's get together at the diner and, then we can, talk it out and just be like, I want to go to the diner, Leo. And then the two of them go there and find all the friends there. And he's like, what the fuck?
Do you really think Jenna and Flynn wouldn't say anything? I hug my knee.
Again, that's just kind of a plot hole of just like, wait.
Yeah. I hug
Jenna would give Leo a piece of her mind, and Flynn would probably be like, "What the fuck?"
I hug my knees and stare out at the wall, feeling strangely violated now. As I stare, I see a dark spot.
Because you were violated? Huh.
He was violated. As I stare,
but not in the way I love.
As I stare, I see a dark spot with spindly legs move across the wall. The spider pauses, as if acknowledging me before disappearing into the dark corner. I sit down hard, uneven ground, shivering as I try to cover myself up with the blankets. My eyes adjust enough for me to realize that I'm outside somewhere, looking through the branches of dead trees to the many stars above me. Oh, so this place takes place in the Milky Way. Aside from the calls of a few birds, it's completely silent. I stare at the sky above me for a while, wishing that it wasn't so cold, so I could go back to sleep. Where am I? The slight confusion I feel mixed with the apathy of just waking up is a familiar feeling. I can remember when my parents forced me into the Boy Scouts 10 years ago. I hated it so much, especially the camping. I could never fall asleep.
They're also very homophobic.
Yeah.
But, we're going to sidestep that.
I could never fall asleep, and when I finally did, it would be marred by me tossing and turning, waking up confused as to where I was. I'd sit up straight in the tent, looking around me for up to 10 minutes, wondering why I was in complete darkness and sitting in a sleeping bag. Except now there is no tent or sleeping bag. There is only Zool. My mind works slowly, like it's drenched in molasses. And I knead the ground with my fingers, digging them into the dead vegetation and soil. And then, finally, I break through the barrier to lucidity, and I realize that what's happening to me is real. I'm outside. I look left and right and see that I'm surrounded by trees or bushes. The smell of sagebrush and dirt fills my nostrils as I unsteadily get to my feet. My limbs and flesh are numb from the cold, and I rub my hands up and down my arms, trying to find some warmth. Did I sleepwalk? I must have, unless Leo took me out here for some reason, or someone else did. I shiver. There's not much else I can do except walk forward. Ahead of me, it looks like the branches clear out into more darkness.
Advanced darkness.
Exactly. Supernatural darkness.
Magic darkness.
I hope that I'm just behind Leo's house where I know there are some bushes and trees. Either way, I can't be that far from the house. So I start walking, reaching out blindly to move past sharp branches and bushes. The pain wasn't that bad. Not nearly as bad as you'd think it'd be. I look back behind me, staring into the blackness. I can't see anything beyond the branches right in front of me, which gives me the impression of gnarled teeth in front of a dark, endless mouth. Oh no, it's the god of the depths from fear and hunger. Quickly.
I was going to say, yeah, like, he is experiencing pain, so, like, but he says it's, like, not that much. So is he, you know more about the psychology than me. Like, is that a thing that you could just, like, have a placeholder pain in dreams?
I mean, it's possible that you could be in such a daze that you can't feel pain as much. Like, the pain would be numbed, I suppose. He could be in a trance. There are states that you can be in trances where they can literally do surgery on you and you won't feel it. He could be having a psychotic break or something like that, where that can make it so you just don't feel pain at all sometimes. There'll be a lot of stuff going on.
Well, no, what I was getting at is that, that it wouldn't be a dream then, right? If there is some kind of...
No, you can have pain when you're dreaming.
Some kind of pain? Okay. I thought that was the one thing you couldn't do. That's why,
Oh,
the
no.
whole pinch me.
Oh, no, you can have tons of pain when you're dreaming. Especially
I guess I'm just lucky then.
Especially if it's a lucid dream, or a lucid nightmare in that case. But yeah, it can be really, really bad. There's been all kinds of stuff about like lucid nightmares where some people they'll be in their bed and they'll be having a dream, but they'll also have it'll feel like sleep paralysis, but they'll be dreaming, and then like something will rise up in their bed, or they walk into a different room if it's a lucid nightmare, and then they get attacked by something and they can feel their organs being torn out of their body and stuff like that. And then they wake up in bed and they're like, what was that? Yeah, there's actually medication you can take for it. Quickly, I turn back around and push through the dead vegetation in front of me, trying not to panic. But I knew I was dead the moment I looked down. A branch scraped across my cheek, and another stabs me hard in the hip as I run right into it. 2 stumps gushing blood, splashing the wheels of the train and rails. I finally break out into the open. Now I can see more stars above me, but the complete lack of a moon makes almost everything around me impossible to see. I can at least tell that...
That's why we need Carl back, so he can moon him again.
That's right, Carl. I can at least tell that it's a large clearing, but no matter how hard I squint, I can't see ahead of me. Sensitively, I start walking forward, looking left and right for any sign of lights that might help guide me back to town. I can feel a worrying seed of panic start up in my chest, and Actually, I was just thinking, if you have enough adrenaline in your body, you won't feel pain. I can feel a worrying seed of panic starting up in my chest, and I worry it's going to explode out of me at any second. It's a chest burster. The last
And it looks like Clint.
Yeah. The last thing I need is me running through the night screaming my head off. Pretty soon I become aware of what looks like a large block in front of me. Again, I reach out with my hands, walking slower as I approach whatever it is that's in front of me. They press up against something rough, hard, and cold. Whatever it is made up of some type of metal. It feels broken and rusted, so I assume it's old. Was it a warehouse of some kind? I sidestep to the right until my hands rub up against something that I sidestep to the right until my hands run up against some bars that stick out from the structure, and that's when it hits me. It's a freight car from the old train. Sure enough, the next thing my hand meets is an empty space, as I come across what I remembered to be the open door I had sat in earlier. I was out in the train yard. I almost laugh. Did my anxiety about finishing the project cause me to sleepwalk all the way back out here? At least
Because he
now.
cares that deeply about his homework.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's the one thing we know about Jace.
Oh, yes.
Is that he was dead set on that homework.
He is obsessed with it. At least now I know exactly where I am. I rest my hands on the edge of the car, breathing in the musty air inside. There's a hint of something sweet and sick on top of it, and it crosses my mind that anything could have crawled inside and died. I quickly move away from the car, turning my body in the direction I know Leo's house is in. I start walking again, pouring through my recent memories to see if I could somehow remember how the hell I got here.
I mean, it's so bad it clipped through the box.
Mm-hmm. I remember Leo coming back into the bedroom, putting his arm around me, and then nothing. I definitely fell asleep. Sleepwalking is the only answer. The sound of rustling behind me makes me jump, but I keep moving forward, not wanting some tiny creature in the grass getting me spooked. Squinting ahead, I see no lights, which is strange because I know Echo should be full of at least a few lights. The street lights at least. A loud metallic clang fills the air, and this time I do whirl around.
Hello?
My voice is still scratchy from waking up, and I cough to clear it.
Hello?
The loudness of my voice actually startles me, but the response is silence. Did a bird hit it? Maybe I knocked something loose when I was feeling around. I'm definitely not going back to check it out, though. So with a quickened pace, I start moving again. That's shifting around the car, like something is rolling around inside. I stop walking again and hold still, perking my ears as I try to hold my breath, heart pounding. This time I don't call out, and instead just listen. I swallow, and it's so loud I almost jump at that sound. But again, the sound stops completely. I wait a while longer before I start moving again, this time at a slight jog. A crazy thought enters my mind, where I think maybe Leo and I got really drunk and maybe we both came out here and blacked out. And that Leo is in the train car right now, hungover and rolling around. It's in the middle.
Because, you would leave the house that you're safe in to just have random drunk sex in the train yard, which you both looked down upon earlier.
That is where crackheads and meth heads go to, and tweakers in general go to, in the middle of the night to do drugs.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you gotta try to find a third, you gotta go where the,
Yep.
where they are.
Chase just looked at Leo and said, "Leo, I really want to do a spit roast." It's in the middle of that thought, though, that this sound starts up again. It's louder this time, and ends with it cutting off for a split second before something heavy thuds to the dead vegetation below. I stop again, but this time it's so that whatever it is doesn't hear me, knowing that if I keep walking, the heavy crunches of my footsteps will allow for it to pinpoint me immediately. My throat is completely dry, and a new thought enters my mind. Could it be Clint? I wouldn't be surprised at all if he comes out here to sleep in the train cars. That would totally be something
he was
do.
trying to find his third. See, Clint was on the level. Like he's like, oh yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm.
I'll join it.
Hey. Well, it does ease my worries a little bit. I'm not fully relaxed because I also don't. I also know he wouldn't hesitate to shoot at something if it startled him. So I crouch down a bit, waiting, listening. And now I'm pretty sure I hear breathing. Ragged, wheezy breathing that definitely sounds like Clint. I gather up some spit in my mouth so my tongue doesn't stick to the roof of it and take a small breath.
Hey, Clint.
I say it gently, quietly, but I'm sure he can hear me. I get some more silence in return, but I also get the distinct feeling that he's listening back. I try again.
It's me, Chase, your favorite otter in the world that you love so much and won't shoot.
There's an explosion of energy and sound in front of me, but it's not a gunshot. Instead, it's a sense of forward momentum that I can physically feel, that whatever it is in front of me is lunging forward at me. Two loud thuds following the other in less than half a second, followed by an explosion of dragging sound. The cycle repeats the second it ends. Whatever it is sounds desperate, almost manic. But I don't stick around to find out because before I know it, my legs are carrying me through the clearing as fast as they can. All thoughts of what it could be are gone from my mind as I dodge into the trees and bushes to my right, knowing that if I can break through the other side, I'll be right in front of Leo's house. What's behind me, though, is moving impossibly fast. Already it sounds like the distance between me and it has been cut in half. I'm struggling between branches and sagebush. I hear it break through the brush. With me. I gasp as full-on panic sets in.
Leo!
I scream as loud as I can, knowing that he should be able to hear me, also knowing that he sleeps like a rock. The thing behind me seems to double its efforts at the sound of my voice, and the cycle of its movement increases. It now has the momentum of a gallop. My breaths are coming in panicked gasps, and now I know I'm not going to make it, because it's only 3 feet behind me. As if a window opens up, the back of my mind I see it. 2 clawed hands outstretched towards me, a face that flashes past too fast for me to make out, but I managed to see a lipless mouth. And then it slams into my back and crushes me into the ground against sharp branches and rocks. I gasp as the air is crushed out of me, but before I can suck it back in, those hands wrap around my neck. I struggle and pull, but it's like I'm an ant under a foot. I'm so thoroughly pinned that I can't even budge an inch. There's a hissing behind my head, and I feel dripping against the back of my neck. Tears squeeze out of my eyes as I try to reach forward, but it's like I'm paralyzed. Paralyzed. I'm yanked back suddenly, my face coming out of something soft and white. A pillow?
Jazz, are you okay?
Leo's husky voice whispers into my ear as I take in a huge gasp of air.
Whoa. Can't breathe?
I cough and gasp. I cough and gasp, my face wet with tears as I sit in the bed looking around.
Oh, baby. It's okay.
Leo draws me.
Little niño. Oh, little niña.
Niña.
Leo draws me into a warm hug as I take it limply, in my mind only now catching up. I cough a few more times.
Sorry. Paralysis. Couldn't move.
Leo rocks
Now
me.
I have robot talk.
Leo
Paralysis. Can't move. Boop, boop.
beep boop. Leo rocks me a few times, making shushing sounds.
I remember you telling me about that. Good thing I was here to pull you out of your pillow. You didn't suffocate yourself.
I nod against his
Yes,
chest.
but I know that you love your pillows because you are a pillow princess.
Pillow princess.
I don't think he knows what that term means.
Definitely don't Google it.
I nod against his chest, realizing how dangerous it could have been if he hadn't been there. I usually came out of the paralysis in under a minute, but sometimes I shudder and pull back out of the hug, wiping my face.
What did you dream about?
I try to think
There
back.
was all these hot guys, and there was TJ, and like I was spraying him with a hose, and he took his shirt off.
I was in this dungeon, and there were a whole bunch of like guys running around, and there were these random jars of white, hot, thick milk, and there was a guy named Mr. Furry. It's like chasing me. And then
Yeah,
I
but they
was,
only had like muscle dudes. Like there was no twinks, there was no bears. It was a pretty lame scene.
I tried to think back, but the dream is fleeing my mind as fast as whatever it was that was chasing me. What was chasing me?
I can't remember.
Leo rubs.
Who am I? Where? When am I?
Who am I? Who? Leo rubs my shoulder and looks at my face. It's dark, but I can see the whites of his eye patches, giving him an almost ghostly appearance.
you wanna stay up? I can make you.
He's one of those sexy ghosts, like Ghostbusters.
Da, 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 da. You wanna stay up? I can make you tea or something.
The adrenaline is already leaving me to be replaced by fatigue, but the offer sounds nice.
Make me
Sure.
milk. All right. Wanna come with me?
I pause and shake my head, wanting to collect myself alone for a moment.
Want to come in me?
No, I'm just gonna assume there's nothing that could be slipped in my drink. Nah, just give me a second.
All right.
Leo leans forward and kisses me on the forehead before leaving me alone in the dark room. I lay back down on my side, trying again to remember what I had dreamed about. I was in the woods, and something was after me. It's about all I can recall. The warmth Leo left in the bed bed quickly has me drowsy again, and I'm about to drift off when something pokes me on the foot. I try to ignore it, but the thought of an insect of some kind has me reaching down to feel it. It's hard and crackly. Whatever it is, I have to pull it up. And when I pull it up, I find a dead leaf. Frowning, I sheets, and there, clinging to the fabric of my fur on my feet, is dirt and dried leaves.